This isn't how I wanted to start the Premier League after the World Cup. Leicester 0, Newcastle 3. What to say about that stinky performance? Reminds me very early on of, if any of Newcastle fans are watching, credit to you. Fantastic play, fantastic performance from you guys. I might talk about you a little bit at the beginning because considering the amount of players they have and the team they put out, now there's a lot of pressure on Newcastle because obviously this time last year when we played them, we won 4-0 at home and they were nowhere near. They were terrible. But you're looking at them now and you look at the formation they started with. I think I'm going to talk about them because it will make me a little bit more positive because that performance from Leicester City was absolutely shocking. Not for the first time this season, but I thought after the Milton Keynes would turn a corner. No. I'll get into Brendan Rodgers and stuff in a second, but I just want to bring up again, just show you some of the players that they had. So going into this, like you look at this team, Nick Pope, obviously quality goalkeeper. Newcastle have done their business brilliantly. Eddie Howe has got them playing some fantastic football. They've not really changed too much since then. Sean Longstaff, like Mikel Almiron, who again completely changed under Eddie Howe. Joel Linton completely changed. Jamarish was fantastic. Sean Longstaff, Fabian Schär, like these players have just turned another level. Dan Burn, really, really good play. Joe Willock, pretty much bought him for 25, didn't know what was going to happen, just played fantastically, to be honest. All over the pitch, they were favourite to everything. And you're looking at that team and you're going, right, that team can be got at, but it's the sum of its parts. And it was just so, they were so good. They were better than us in every single way on that pitch today. And I've no problem admitting that because if, in my opinion, the Geordies have always been fantastic. When they've come, they're loud. Regardless if they're winning 3-0, losing 3-0, losing 4-0, they're still singing, they're still shouting. They're a fantastic fan base. And that's I wanted to talk about them for a bit because I need to be a bit positive because, my God, that Leicester performance was so bad. But he's got the best out of some of them players. Mikel Almiron looked phenomenal for that second goal. Joel Linton for his goal. Again, we'll get on to, it's very good from Newcastle. Very good. Eddie Howe's got them playing some beautiful football. And we look like the championship side. They look like they're fighting for the Premier League title, which they are. I mean, in terms of where they are. But for us, what the hell are we doing? I mean, so from the first kick of the game, we're like, oh, we're starting off slow. Within 90 seconds, Daniel Amate gives away a penalty. Now, we know Daniel Amate is not, we meme him a little bit. He's not the kind of player that's going to take us forward. He's probably going to leave for a free in the summer, but we've seen him perform. This is the kind of opportunity where we're like, yeah, things have come down. And it was just bad. It was just bad for all over the pitch, really. From that one, Wood scores. Okay, it's a penalty. Clear foul. Amate, just what are you doing? It was kind of, from our perspective, what are you doing, Amate? But from their perspective, we're looking at it going, Daniel Amate, he took the bite, and Joel Linton, clear penalty for Newcastle. Wood puts it away. You're thinking, okay, 9 seconds, we'll get back in the game. Leicester still don't switch on. It's been 9 seconds. We're 1-0 down. You should be knocking people's heads together. Goes, wake up, people. Wake up. We played well, and we played well in the MK game, and now this is crap we are looking at, honestly. Yes, we are short on defenders because, again, the amount of defenders that are out, players in defensive positions, and we're one person away from playing literally Yannick Vestergaard at left back. That's how bad we are at the moment. We will talk about transfers and stuff in another video, but just to get back to it again, Leicester did not start strong. They're a great teams will punish you. They will get you and they will punish you. And that's exactly what Newcastle did. They punished us, and they a good team, a great team won't go 1-0, will sit back. They made it 2 in a short period of time. I think 7 minutes, I want to say. Almiron, again, this is how you can analyze the match. You can go, Newcastle was fantastic. Credit to Newcastle in this game. Phenomenal performance. I knew they were a strong side going into this game. Didn't know how strong it was going to be. This was such a strong game for them. I saw it early. Leicester look asleep. just didn't really turn up. That second goal, the Almiron Gimares 1-2. Luke Thomas, show him on your outside. I don't know what you're doing. You're a young player. Ethan's put in Luke Thomas's positioning is woeful. I can't blame it all on him. Everybody looked bad. I mean, the only players that can hold their head high a little bit, I say 4 players, come to think of it. Foss, Danny Ward, a couple of times. I think he's a real confidence player. When Danny Ward's confident, looks fantastic. When he came out and floundered at that corner in the second half, I was like, ugh, that's not too bad. Another player that I'm going to talk about is in the second half. Oh, well, KDH, I think was decent. Vardy, I think was decent, and Foss. So they're the only players that I'm really. Everybody else, you need to really look at yourself. Castagna was okay at times. I don't think he did too much wrong. There's some players we're looking at again, and we're looking at for this game. People are coming in already saying about, again, the pen turn the game. Mate, before the penalty, it was 90 seconds in. I wouldn't say that great. 9 seconds in, we should be playing a lot better. And since that penalty goes in, that should be the thing to wake us up. Not happening. Can't believe 3-0 down at half time. Brings on Ndidi. I think that just shows you how Brendan doesn't trust this squad. And now Brendan has his fair. We have a criticism of Brendan, and we have criticised him on the show. He didn't do enough to change it up, and he's going to go, oh, we've not got the transfer. If he comes out and says we've not got the transfers we want, we're going to do a lot of work in January. And we're going to go, Lord have mercy, we back to where we were in August, going for that same thing. Then they just tore us apart. Newcastle did all over the pitch. They just tore us apart. They were harder working. They were more physical. And there wasn't really anything in terms of Leicester. We tried to play. I've seen Brendan do this a few times before. The one I'm thinking of is Roma. When we played against Roma, and we tried the same thing again and again and again. And it just didn't work. And it just didn't work in this match. Daka, there's a lot of people slating Daka online, and I'm not having it as of yet. I think he's a great player, and I think he'll develop. But he was at least trying to create something, trying to bring Barnes into the game. I mean, they ran into each other. You're like, oh, great. It's going to be one of those afternoons. And it was probably worse than that. But Tyler's come in and said, don't know what to say. I'm trying, mate. It might be a short one because there's not a lot to say. We need a centre-back. Yeah, I mean, looking forward, we're one away from playing them. We one away from playing we are just not good. We really aren't good. Looking at some of the bits we're looking at again, we looked at 22nd minute. There was a foul on Daka, and it nearly went in the back of the net. At least he was trying. He was giving something. Would I have taken him off? Probably, but I would have preferred Samore because of the third goal. Between the 22nd minute, we stepped up a little bit. There were some nice patches of play. I'm not expecting us to go toe to toe with Newcastle all the time. And we did for parts, but it was a bit meaty football. We got the third goal. I mean, Samore, I love Samore. That's criminal, man. You are probably the most physical player on that pitch, bar probably Ward, but he's obviously in goal. What are you doing, letting just Joel Linton again from a Newcastle perspective? Joel Linton was all over him, and deserved to win it. He wanted it more. He hurried it more, and Samori just kind of just bent over and he came over the top of him. Really easy. Can I blame Ward? Not really. Can I blame Trippier for a good cross? Yes, but can I say Trippier was good cross? Yes, I can. But it's nothing to really worry about because KDH and Perez looks all right. KDH looked better. Perez, he looks like he had a couple of touches where it was going forward, but as soon as he got that little bit of God, they just all swarmed him, and he didn't step up. I think he's just not. He's not got what it takes. Let's see what happens with him in January because again, we'll see if we can recoup some of that 30 million. If not, he leaves for free in the summer, and that's a lot of money. KDH wasn't good enough in my opinion. At least he was trying. There were so many other players that weren't trying in this game. I beg to differ, to be honest. But KDH was one of the players that can go, okay, I give it something. And yes, he wasn't great, but at least on that left-hand side, he was getting something. He was running. He was trying. And I don't blame him too much for this because he did play all right at times. So I just like Leicester, I took myself out of the stream. Oh my lord. Anyway, just all over the place at the moment. Sorry, I've got to catch up with the comments, but going back to what we did, oh my god, I can't believe I just took myself out of stream. Wood could have made it 4 in the first half. Again, 3-0 up at half time. We didn't really offer enough. And it seemed like we were 2 different teams in 2 different leagues. It was not good enough. Not good enough all over the pitch. Gone reduced to atoms. Yeah, that was me, mate. All just disappeared. Niles here. Leicester were dreadful. We weren't unlucky. Unlucky me for us, but whatever. Glenn's in the chat. There's only 2 things. Yeah, exactly. It's a good joke. It's a good joke, Glenn. But yeah, that's pretty much it at the moment. We just defensively we're all at sea. And one thing we were talking about the set piece coach. I think he's genuinely made improvements. Fast genuinely made improvements, but today's a blip in that as well. So I'm just frustrated, man, because look at it. Look, we're going at 3 and a half time. That shouldn't be happening. Cool. Then Brendan's got the opportunity to change it up. I put Samore was the priority. Putting in Didi on or putting Mendy on to kind of shore up that back line, because back line were all over the place. Preferably putting on in Didi just to kind of sweep that back line, do what he does. We know what he does, and just kind of sit in front of that back line and just kind of clear everything up. Didn't happen. Vardy came on for Daka. Daka was actually doing okay. I would say he was doing something. Going forwards, he was trying to bring people into the game. He was running into Harvey Barnes a little bit, but he was trying a little bit more. I think that was a signal to the board, like we haven't got enough players. Look, we can't change it up as much as we need it to. And that is partly down to injury, but still doesn't say like we came out second half and we were just as bad in the first half. The only advantage in the second half, we didn't concede anymore. And part of the reason for that is because Newcastle sat back after 60 minutes and just went, you can have the ball. We're just going to sit out and show out a performance properly and efficiently. And they did. And it was fantastic to see. We are, again, one thing I put down. This is down, not even down to Rodgers, it's down to the players. Misplaced passes. When we get our passing right, we're fantastic. We played some great 1-2s, 3-4. Like the ball was bringing around really, really nicely. Misplaced passes everywhere. And who's to blame? Rodgers? No, the players. The players kept mispassing all the ball. And I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you misplacing all these passes? It makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense. Pro Spanish like Leicester midfield. Yeah. Leicester's entire defense, really. Entire defense, entire midfield, most of our attack, let's be honest. Least you can do is try and make you average. And he doesn't exactly. We just didn't fight. And I don't think Newcastle, as good as they were, I don't think we stepped up to them. I don't go, right, you're challenging for that top 4 and you want to be that position that we were kind of. Let's go to them. Nah. And we didn't put up enough of a fight. Considering the team that we put out, yes, we were missing James Maddison. Yes, we were missing Johnny Evans. Yes, we were missing Ricardo, JJ, and a couple of other people. But we had enough to go toe-to-toe for them, player to player. Now, Eddie Howe's turned them into a monster. And I didn't realize how much of a monster until this game. But we have enough to go toe-to-toe with them. And we didn't. Just looking at some of the notes against Vardy, when he came on, at least he was trying down that right-hand side. Everything was coming down that right-hand side. Vardy was trying to make things happen for Barnes, trying to pick out the passes, trying to get into some good spaces. I heard them chant your wife's a grass very early on, which I thought, thank you very much. That means he'll score. Didn't manage to score. We didn't have our first shot on target until the 82nd minute. This feels like we were back before in the first six, 7 games, how bad we were. And at times when Newcastle set in, and again, you've got 3-0. Why do we need to play football? Just ease out the game. Couldn't do it. We didn't offer enough going forward. The substitutions in the 71st minute, Barnes for Nacho made sense. Nacho came on, didn't really do anything. Samori for Ndidi, that's one that would have made earlier. I think the reason why they didn't is because of Ndidi's he just come back from an injury. But we were just holding on for dear life at times, and we were just hoping that we're lucky that Newcastle were nice to us, and they didn't. With the Man City, they pushed their boot into your neck, and they go 3-0 is not enough. We want 7, we want 8, we want to kill you, and we were there for the taking. We could be lucky that Newcastle actually slowed down and went, "We're going to take our foot off the gas, and we're going to play," because it's all just bad. I think it's a great point by Tyler. Actually, we've got to show something massively different against Newcastle in the League Cup. We're in the quarters of that. We're in the last 8. After that performance, what do you see happening? What do you see happening? I can't see us getting something decent out of the game. After this, after that performance, you think we're going to go? I think we're away to Newcastle and get something. I don't think so. I don't think we're good enough. I was really looking forward to this one on Amazon Prime. I was going to make a post-match going over analyzing some of the formations, the details on. I love doing those when I get the opportunity on Amazon Prime and I can watch it back. I'm not going to do it for this game. I was bored after I can't remember what minute it was. 70 minutes, 65 minutes. I was just bored. I was like, I'm not enjoying football. I'm not enjoying Leicester. I'm just watching the same thing happen again and again. Yes, he changed the players, but the tactics stayed the same. Brendan needs to be a little bit more forward thinking when things aren't working, when positions are going to be set up. Yes, we changed Vardy, but it still felt a bit down. It didn't. Gray says, why did we play the Man City game? I can't believe that's the case. I can't believe that was the case. That they're the same team, pretty much, without the exception of James Maddison. I think it was pretty much the same team, and yet they were good. Ethan puts in, yep, they wanted it more before every goal. Exactly. At every stage, they were better. Every player, man for man, was better for the Newcastle side. 100%. Give them the credit where it's due. But we're a Leicester channel. We talk about Leicester stuff. We're not saying that you're not either, Ethan, but I'm saying credit to Newcastle. Their fan base has gone through hell in terms of Mike Ashley and the scumbag. I think I do have a Cov now. That's the only upside to that. Putting them through a misery, us taking Uzi Berries and loads of rock. Their fans have been at the ground and have travelled and they've sold out St James's in the Championship. That's something that we couldn't do until we started winning stuff. Their fan base today was loud. It was passionate. It was there, and they were there to just sink it all in. I mean, they've bought some players: Sven Botman, Gimaresh, Nick Pope. These are quality players, and they've improved the game no end. They have improved them so much, but a lot of it's down to Eddie Howe. Every single challenge, every single press, they were better. Every single attack, they were better. And it shows you Eddie Howe is a great manager. He's supposed to be. He's not supposed to be as good as Brendan Rodgers. And he just outshone Brendan Rodgers in every way. And there was no excuse. There was no real excuse in terms of that. The team that we put out, Tillemans, compared to Sean Longstaff, for example. KDH compared to Sean Longstaff. Which one's better? Almiron versus Barnes, or Joe Linton versus Barnes. Barnes should be better. Not today. Chris Wood versus Daka. These players are obvious what one needs to happen, but we didn't give it enough of a go. We really didn't. And it's, yeah, and the guys makes a good point. They are better, and it was disjointed. It was, again, misjointed. It was misplaced FC. It was just all over the shop, really. And it's really disappointing because we were on such a good run before this, third best in the league behind Newcastle. And this could, hopefully, we put this aside. We go, right, we're going ahead full force against Liverpool. Liverpool aren't that same team that they were a few years ago. They're falling off a cliff. I want to see us go there and end 2022 on a high, because it wasn't good enough. It really wasn't. The substitutions of Samori for Ndidi worked okay. Nacho came on, did a little bit. Yeah. I can't see it. Tyler's in. Also worked for Lars Knudsen also worked for the US men's team. All I hear from them is how he was doing nowhere enough for the US team to keep improving our attacking set pieces. I think the issue for us was defending set pieces. That was our main concern. I'm more than happy to not score any set pieces if we're going to defend them. However, he's come in and done a decent job. Let's not throw this match away because we've decided that it's not good enough, because we've not played. We haven't performed. Let's be honest, we haven't performed in this match. However, since he's come in, him and Foss, Lars and Foss, they've both been decent for us, and I'm more than happy to say that, because apart from this, they've been decent. Just getting in some of the comments as well. Daka was the only threat, says Stephen. Was the only threat to Newcastle, didn't have enough support. He did have a little bit of support, but not enough to try and win the game. He tried. I can at least give him that. He tried. Just going through some of the comments now. Again, apologies. You're flying in with the comments, and I love it, but I'm just struggling. Otherwise, it'll be a 3-hour show. Have faith. We looked really good side before the break. We need to Maddison back. The thing is, James, you're right in terms of having Maddison back. Now, Maddison watched on the stands, and there's been lots of links for him and Newcastle. He's probably licking his lips at that opportunity. Looking at some of the players they've got in that team. He would slot in over Sean Longstaff or Joe Willock, 100% in that 4-3-3, or what he thought it was a forward player, Mikel Almiron and Joe Linton, but they're Newcastle. They've got the options. I don't think they'll come in January. I was reading the article by Rob Tanner today, and he was mentioning that unless a stupid bid comes in, an eye-watering, I think the quote was, eye-watering bid, he's not going anywhere. It's January, so we'll have to say. I'm really hoping that we get our stuff sorted, because it's not good enough, really. 82nd, first shot on target. 82nd, Vardy nearly scored. It was offside, but Nick Pope did really, really well to save that. And then Fuss did a goal. It was offside by Murphy, but to save our embarrassment, man. It was embarrassing today. And Newcastle are a great side. I don't know how many times I want to keep repeating this. They are fantastic. But we will, again, a lot of people putting in, people I've mentioned in Boga and Tajon as well. We will answer those questions hopefully in the new year when we get Rob on. And again, if you have any questions to them, make sure you message us. Do we have the banner? Let's see if we can do some. No, brands. This is thinking on the fly. It's been ages since I've done a stream like this. This one? Yes. If you do have any questions for Rob, this is your best. This one, that one. Beyond the 90 LCFC, and on Twitter and Instagram. Go and message me there, because that way I can get your questions to him. I'd love to get, so whatever questions you have, there's lots of similar questions. Now, Brendan Rodgers has come out and answered a lot of it. He's mentioned some of the things about which position we're looking for, but also I want to get your questions in. What do you want to know as well? So messages on these two platforms, and I'll try and get them to Rob Tanner as well. Pratt's injured. Pratt went off. I was really looking forward to Pratt in this game, because I was thinking, Newcastle fans obviously are looking at Maddison and going, oh yeah, Maddison out of the team, we've got a chance. In the same way that I'm looking at them with Isak out, I'm going, right, we've got a chance with Chris Wood up front. But looking overall, and they get injured in the first 10 minutes, and then Jose Perez comes on, and I'm like, did a couple of good stuff for Jose Perez, but nothing to really set the game on fire. The technical ability was was what we needed, and we lacked that. KDH has got it a little bit, but it just didn't happen today. Really didn't happen today. Maddison's back at Liverpool. Let's hope so. Because it wasn't good enough overall. That's about it. That's all I've really got in terms of that. We are back after on the 30th for the Leicester Liverpool game. So again, if anybody has any questions, make sure to get us in. Make sure to go follow us while we're there as well. Subscribe to the channel. We are back. We are going to be doing some interviews. We're going to be doing some post matches. Now it makes things a bit more complicated because everything is a little bit off at the moment because of the World Cup, because of Christmas. But hope you all had a good Christmas. All that good stuff. like, subscribe. So I'm really bad. I need to be like Ant and actually know how to promote the channel. We'll have more people on the channel eventually, just that nobody was available today. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And we'll see everybody in the next video. Let's hope we can get a Newcastle, a Liverpool win. We'll see you all in the next video. So goodbye.